right, good morning. Okay, so this is day 48, and I'm on page 179. I'm Jessie Burgart. I'm reading The Art of Focus by Dan Koe, an absolutely phenomenal book. If you're an entrepreneur or you just like thinking outside the box, you want to challenge the way you're thinking, this is a great book. All right, How to Learn. That's the title of this section. The source of learning is struggle, not memorization. Learning is the process of turning knowledge into understanding, and the lowest points of your life are those where a stackable lesson presents itself, but only if you apply it in reality. All right, let's see. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay. I'm going to read that again. Sorry, I might have to do some editing here, but that's all right. The source of learning is struggle, not memorization. Learning is the process of turning knowledge into understanding, and the lowest points of your life are those where a stackable lesson presents itself, but only if you apply it in reality. Knowledge compounds, and without quality ideas, struggle, and time, you will fail to reach new levels of understanding. Again, this process is not immediate, and for most, genuine knowledge creation is an impossibility until they wake up. The problem is the attitude that schools approach learning with. At a young age, the act of obedience without question is tattooed into our psyche. It makes sense why there has been a silent education revolution on the internet. The neurotransmitter that most influences our behavior is dopamine. Dopamine plays an important role in our learning process, and when we seek to understand it, we can leverage it. From here on, we are assuming that you have an intention. Intention is the invisible bridge between goal and action. With a mind that is open to our desired future, we expand our field of awareness to notice things that will aid in the survival of that future. What are you aiming toward? Hold that at the top of your mind so you can recognize and apply lessons directly to that goal. Novelty, pattern recognition, and the dopamine involved with both are the next step in our learning endeavors. The easiest way to notice this is to reread your favorite book or reflect on your experience with this book. When you revisit information from a new level of mind, when you revisit information from a new level of mind, you notice resources that didn't originally catch your attention through novelty. If your goal, conscious or unconscious, is to buy a new car, certain aspects of this book will stick out to you more than others. Your mind is a magnet for novel ideas. By design, you collect knowledge that will aid in buying that new car. If your intention is to misinterpret everything I write so that you have an excuse to stay the same, that can be dangerous. For someone that has a different goal, like getting out of the state of emotional turmoil they're in, they will interpret this book from a completely different perspective. The same is true for someone that wants to make money, get fit, or just entertain themselves out of boredom. Pattern recognition comes into play with this as well. Once you set your mind on that new car or better mental health, you will notice that specific cars are happy individuals as you are out and about in the world, or how when you learn a new word, you start hearing it more often. All right, sorry, I'm going to read that paragraph one more time too. Pattern recognition comes into play with this as well. Once you set your mind on that new car or better mental health, you'll notice that specific car or happy individuals as you are out and about in the world, or how when you learn a new word, you start hearing it more often. By having a simple intention to act, your signal-to-noise ratio improves through dopamine. We can see why those that choose the unconscious modality of living look so miserable. It's because their attention is being manhandled by the goals that have been projected on them. Next, I want to introduce a few universal laws: the law of use and the law of inspired action. These play together in unison and synthesize well with novelty and pattern recognition. The law of use is simple. If you don't use it, you lose it. Meaning, if you don't apply the information you process with your conscious mind, especially if on an inconsistent basis, then it has less of a chance of becoming a habitual thought process. The law of inspired action adds firepower to the information we intend to apply toward our goal. The novelty and patterns we noticed are more than likely to inspire us to act, but that inspiration has a short fuse. So it makes absolute sense to have some form of idea capture system for your projects, like the notebook you took out to strategize your lifestyle, or a dedicated app in your phone. You won't be able to execute on any and all ideas right away. The next best thing is to write it down so you don't waste that potential. And no, you won't remember it without writing it down. To round out our ability to learn, the protege effect is our final piece. In short, it's learning by teaching. When you teach what you know and struggle to articulate certain concepts, you reveal gaps in your knowledge. Those knowledge gaps are filled through intentional education, novelty, and pattern recognition. Not only will you spot information that aids in the pursuit of your goals, but also for the missing pieces you've identified in the pursuit of helping others reach theirs. Teaching what you know, regardless of how much of an imposter you think you are, is how you supercharge your understanding of ideas. Humans learn best when they pursue a goal, encounter a problem, remain conscious of that problem, notice information that can solve the problem, rapidly act on that information, and go out to teach what they learned to others. Whether this was an intentional design by a higher power or not, we can see how self-development paired with the sense of mastery is the path to a life of meaning, money, and impact. Become a builder. Overabundance of information is like pouring a gallon of murky water down a small drain. We love to hoard theory, orthodoxy, and conceptual understanding of things without direct experience, because that means we would have to do something we perceive as uncomfortable when we've been conditioned to perceive into perceived comfort. Life doesn't work that way, and nobody wants to be that guy. You know, the one that gives a book's worth of advice without understanding your goals and not having done it themselves. What you'll find in most domains is that true experts rarely need guidance. They use science, theory, and advice to get to the intermediate stage. But they learned that intuition and direct experience trump all once you get into the advanced stage. The reason that people don't realize this is that they are too attached to the identity they built along the way. The helpful concepts they've gathered with time gain a shred of inscience and become their puppet master. You balance practice and theory by becoming a builder. That is, always having a project to build in alignment with the theory you are learning about. Okay, that's it for today. I struggled all the way through it. I'm sorry. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see you here tomorrow morning. Take care. Ciao.